Hi guys, Vipin here. One of my students requested me to do a video on the career options after 12th. Now, this is something which I have been planning to do for a long period of time but never got around it. But nonetheless, here is a quick video when it comes to what you can do after your 12th. Now, one thing I've noticed is a lot of people find it very confusing when they visit a college. They say that this is affiliated to, say, Christ University, this course is affiliated to Bangalore University. So, what's the difference between a course affiliated to, say, Christ University or Jain University versus something that's affiliated to Bangalore University? Now, there are private universities and there are state universities. Okay, remember that private universities and state universities. State universities are run by the government. That is, the state government goes about managing these universities. Now, in Karnataka, you have Mysore University, Bangalore University, Tumkur, Kuvempu University, and quite a few state-run universities. Now, the people who run these universities are state government employees. Now, when they go about designing the syllabus of these universities, whatever colleges that are affiliated to these universities must follow the university syllabus. The college cannot have its own syllabus. Now, of late, there has been a huge increase in the number of private universities. Now, private universities have both advantages and disadvantages, just like anything else. One thing is private universities have a much more organized syllabus. That is, their syllabus is more relevant to what is happening in the modern day. Like there are some colleges that will even teach you when it comes to computers, they even teach you skills like MS Excel, they teach you photoshopping, they teach you database management, even though you're a commerce student. Now, that is something which is really useful for the present day. Now, private universities are expensive. I've seen private universities charge little over a lakh rupees for a simple BCom degree. But that's one downside to it. But on the other side, even though they're charging a high amount of money for these degrees, you have some really, really good placements that are associated with these colleges. So that's the good side to it. On the other hand, a state-run university is inexpensive. Now, for example, if you want to do your BCom in Bangalore, from Bangalore University, most of the colleges that are affiliated to Bangalore University would charge you maybe 30 or 40,000 rupees for an entire year for doing a BCom degree. So the entire 3 years worth of expenses would come to maybe 1.5 lakh. And that is the higher margin that I'm telling you. So the cost of the degree is not so expensive, but there is a good possibility that you may not have placements when it comes to state universities. Like I said, the state university syllabus is not so well organized. Most of the content in a state run university syllabus is not really applicable to the modern day. So that's one major disadvantage that you would have there, but it's up to you. Whichever is convenient, you could go about choosing either of these universities. Remember, I know a lot of people who actually prefer a state run university because they want a no frills degree. That is, all they want is to show that they've done a graduation. They would have a different course in their mind when it comes to what they really want to do in their lives. So for them, it doesn't really matter what the syllabus is like, all that. They don't care about the placements, all of that. They would be interested in doing something like CA, CS, or ICWA. And for them, where they do their BCom doesn't matter at all. So that's one more thing when it comes to state-run universities. They offer a no-frills degree. It's just a graduation. Don't expect something extraordinary. Don't expect a fantastic experience when it comes to going through the colleges affiliated to state-run universities. But in general, what are the different courses that you have? Now, BBM and BCom, there's always a confusion between students. What do I take up, BCom or BBM? Especially commerce students have this. Now, I know some science students would also be interested to switch over to commerce after their 12th, mostly because they do not want to pursue science. They don't like pursuing the courses like engineering, medical, all that. For science students, I would advise that you take up BBM because I was a science student in my 12th. 11th and 12th, I did PCMB, physics, chemistry, maths, and bio. And BBM is a much more simpler course than BCom. BCom has got a lot of concepts related to accounting, and usually science students struggle when it comes to accounting. So, if you're a science student, take up BBM. But if you're a commerce student, it doesn't really matter what you take up when it comes to BBM or BCom. However, there are some conditions that apply. Now, for example, if you're someone doing CA or CS, those professional programs, I would not advise you to take up BBM because BBM colleges usually have a lot of extracurricular work. That is, you need to prepare for presentations, you need to prepare for group discussions, all that. So that's going to take away more of your study time, and it's not really going to allow you to focus so much on your professional courses. And a lot of colleges for BBM are not very lenient when it comes to students attending professional classes and then doing their BBM course by missing classes, all that. So BBM is not advised if you're doing a professional course, but if you are someone who's not interested in a professional course, you're a commerce student, go for BBM or BCom, it doesn't matter. But remember, BCom has got more of accounting work than what BBM does. Most of the subjects you study in BBM are theory oriented. In BCom, it's mostly practical oriented subjects like stats, maths, and accounting. BA, on the other hand, is ideal if you're someone who's interested in the arts. A lot of people who take up BA usually prefer economics as one of the chief specializations. Now, I've not really seen any high-end jobs if you are an expert in economics, but to be an expert, to be a specialist in the field of economics, you should have a very high quality post graduation from a very good university. So I'm not really familiar with economics from a good college in India, but a lot of people who take up BA usually are interested in UPSC exams. So that's something which they prefer. And then interior design, product design, and fashion designing. Now, a lot of people criticize fashion designing, especially saying that the course doesn't have a lot of scope, all that. Now, any course related to the arts, now I've forgotten to mention animation here, but all the courses that I've mentioned there in terms of design, product, fashion, or interior, you need to be very creative. Don't expect that the course will make you creative or bring out your inner creativity. Now, for some people that may happen, but for a majority of them, it doesn't. If you are someone who's incapable of doing things different, you're incapable of thinking beyond incapable of thinking out of the box, in that case, these courses may not really help you at all. Otherwise, if you are someone who has the flair for creativity, the flair for doing something different, then the arts courses like interior design, fashion design, and product design are one of the best that I've ever seen. And then hotel management. Now, hotel management is something which few people would not be comfortable with, especially people like me who are vegetarians. Hotel management is more like you are training to become a chef. Now, there is really good opportunity in this because there are quite a few restaurants coming up all over in a place like Bangalore. I see new restaurants coming up every day. Now, within a radius of 2 kilometers in the last 2, 3 months, I've seen about three restaurants come up near my place. And you can see the potential of actually being a chef. So, hotel management mostly trains you to become a chef, and you should be ready to make whatever is there on the menu. It doesn't really matter if you are someone who's willing to compromise on your principles, on your religious beliefs, then hotel management is something that you can take up. Now, remember, all these courses from all these universities don't really expect the college will give you everything and make you a better person than what you were from the time you joined. It is your effort that will actually make you a better person. Do not be under the impression that if I study something like product design, I'm going to be the next guy who is going to design the iPhone. It's not going to work that way. You really need to be someone who can stand out from the rest so that people recognize you for your talent, and that's how you progress in your career. Or if you are someone who's just into the course, just writing the exams and going home, that really doesn't add any value to the degree, that really doesn't add any value to your life. So, if you're able to apply yourself in any of these courses, you can do wonders. And always remember that you should review your skills and you should apply the course which suits your skills. Now, for someone like me, I cannot do interior design. The reason is I'm terrible at drawing. I'm a person who can write well, but I can't draw very well. I'm not very good when it comes to putting up colors, putting up floor plans, all that. So, if I were to review my skills, I can tell you that I'm probably good at BA, BCom, or BBM. I'm certainly not good at the others, the skill sets required in the others. So, you guys can review yourself and see where it is that you stand and choose the course which you feel is ideal. So, thank you for your time. Have a nice day. And if you have any queries, do send me a message on WhatsApp. You can find my mobile number on my website, that is Professor Vipin, vipinmks.com. So, thank you for your time again. See you guys. Bye.